welcome in. It is 101 with Chase McCabe, hosted by Greg Pogue. It feels that way anyway. And I do want to thank Program Director Chase McCabe, of course, off with MTSU women's basketball duties. It has been Chase sitting in most of the basketball season. But I am at the Murphy Center, MTSU Lady Raiders today. It is the regular season finale, 2 o'clock, Missouri State in town. Our visit here, and we're usually at Roy's Meat Service, but our visit here today is brought to you by the Boulevard Bar and Grill, and also JGC Maintenance Division of Jones Glass Company. So as well, starting it up, and it's going to be 1-on-3 today. Coming up, football coach Derek Mason, SWA Associate Athletics Director, Senior Women's Administrator Diane Turnham. We kick it off with Associate Head Coach Matt Insell. Matt, morning.
Morning.
How you doing, man? Happy birthday to daughter Evie.
Daughter Evie's birthday, and getting ready for another big game here in the Murphy Center today.
This has been a wild ride, hasn't it? Because you came into this with the youngest team, second youngest team in the country. Mm-hmm. Well, they're still the second youngest team in the country. How's it been?
It's been good. I mean, it's been, obviously, I just talked to him before practice today. I wouldn't say there's been a lot of ups and downs in terms of this season. I say it's more the inexperience led to a lot of inconsistency. And the first time going through a conference, the first time going through a college schedule, it's been hard on these young ladies. Usually there's older players that can play in front of them, that can teach them the ropes, that can show them, that can help them understand it. There's not any of that. We lost every player on our team last year due to graduation, and the ones that didn't graduate, one of them is starting and had 20 on Tennessee on 2 nights ago in the SEC tournament at Alabama, and Tamia Scott. So, and another one is playing at Washington. I mean, it's just the way the college basketball world is this day and age. But I couldn't be more proud of our team. I mean, I think that we're set for the future. I think we're going to be very dominant in the future. I'm very confident in that, and I think this year is going to be a year that they look back on and say they're thankful for this year and excited about what's coming up.
Is this going against the grain? And I mean that because now you didn't dig into the transfer portal. One in Elena Contreras she brought in, and she's over 1,000 points originally at Missouri, Kansas City, now here, and she's going to go through senior day today, the only player to do that. It's the quick fix would have been there, right?
Yeah.
With the portal.
I mean, yeah, but also you could be in the same spot you're in now, because a lot of times when you go in the portal, you're taking somebody else's problem. And, do you want to do that and take a kid for a year? Then if you start that process, and not saying we will never do that process because you just never know what your roster is going to look like, but if you start going down that road, that's the road you're going down for the rest of the time. We still believe that there's great high school players out there. We still believe that you can come here and you can develop and you can get better. And, being the second youngest team in the nation, playing in a conference that's one of the better conferences in women's basketball, are we where we want to be in terms of where we usually are with 25, 30 wins? No. But we have grinded out what we've got so far, and we've got a chance tonight to get another one and get some momentum heading into the Conference USA tournament. And I wouldn't do it over. I told the girls this after the game at Delaware we wouldn't have made this decision any other way. We did this decision. We believed in this decision. We still today believe in this decision. Blair Bogus, Macy Pfeiffer, Kirsten Verhos, Carson Swaney are 4 freshmen that are starting on our team. And we win today. We finished 3rd in one of the best conferences in women's basketball. And to say that's a huge accomplishment for these young ladies.
And case in point of just the caliber, you mentioned Blair Bogus. She is a lock for Conference USA Freshman of the Year, 12 double-doubles, 7 times the Freshman of the Week. You throw in Macy Pfeiffer, who's really emerged down the stretch, 3 times Freshman of the Week, and then also Yuan Lin was once as well. So that's 11 of the Freshman of the Week, and that's a new record.
It is. It's a new record, and they all deserve it. And then we still got – we have 2 young post players on our roster. One is 6'10", the other one is 6'4", that people are going to look up next year and say, why didn't you play them more this year? Well, because they're freshmen. And 90% of the kids their size in the country as true freshmen never get off the bench or they redshirt. And they're going through growing pains. But I see right now in practice as we're getting towards the end of the year how they're coming on and think that they're going to have a big, big future coming up. And Macy and Blair, and they've just been unbelievable. We've pushed them very hard. We've tried to squeeze out every piece of the juice of the fruit that we can get out of them. And sometimes asking them to do above and beyond things that maybe they think they can do at this age. And I asked Blair yesterday, would you have wanted it any other way? Would you have rather me gone and got a transfer portal post player that you could have come off the bench behind and learned? Or would you do it this way again? She said, Coach, I'd rather do it the way you've done it. And there's been some good days, there's been some bad days, but I wouldn't change it for anything. And so that's exciting for us.
One-on-one with Greg Pogue, presented by Freeman Webb. We are at Murphy Center today, courtesy of JGC Maintenance Division, Jones Glass Company, Greg Jones, and then Jeff Nebel and the crew over at the Boulevard Bar and Grill, where the coaches' shows are, football, men's and women's basketball. I've grown to like the Boulevard a lot. I liked it before I started to do the coaches show.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Oh, it's
it's the TVs in there are awesome. The big TV they got, and the service is good. It's a must place to go here in Murfreesboro. Locally owned, big Middle Tennessee supporters, and it's easy to support places that support our university. And some places don't do that, but that place does.
Let me, obviously your dad, Rick Insell, 9-time Hall of Famer, Tom Hodges, Nita Davis, Kim Bruton, the staff been together just, from extended ever since, you came back and from your 5 years as head coach at Ole Miss. Is it still a balance of teaching and coaching right now?
Yeah, we were teaching this morning in shoot-around.
Yeah.
We got to use every day to teach. And I sat down at pregame meal with 4 of our freshmen and really listened to them and talked to them a little bit and hearing what they had to say about this year, because we're in our last game of the regular season, getting ready to go in the tournament. It brought so much joy to me at how much joy they've had in this season. And the teaching, and even one of them said this morning, one of them that's redshirting, a kid from France, is, Coach, even today, our last game of the regular season, we were still teaching fundamentals and shoot-around. Well, we can't use this day not to teach, and that's our job, and we got to continue to do that, and we got to use every single day because we want to look up. We want to go, this group, we want to go on a 3-year run that we just ended. And people say, well, how did you do what you did with Bodareva and Wheeler and Gregory and all those great players that we had come through there? Well, what we did was what we're doing now. We taught them at a young age. And then their sophomore, junior, and senior year, they became dominant. And that's what we feel like this group's going to do.
It's the old way of doing things, isn't it, a little bit?
It's the old way.
Yeah.
There's still a way to do it the old way. I mean, I know everybody wants to do it the new way, and everybody wants a quick fix, Greg.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go on the transfer portal and let's quick fix it. And sometimes it's better to wait to get what you really want. And what we really want is to be 18-0 in league play. What we really want is to be in the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Fours. And when Dad came here years ago, that was our objective. And that objective still hasn't changed. We've been right there. We led for 34 minutes in the second round of the NCAA tournament 2 years ago. What drives me every day is to get back to that spot, and I want that last 16 minutes again. And if we can get that last 16 minutes, how will we do that different to make sure that we get back to Murfreesboro going to the Sweet 16?
Your dad here, 21st season, 21-year, 504 wins here. The only coach ever to win 500 on the high school level, obviously at Shelbyville, and then here as well. And, sometimes how do you separate the son and he being your boss? He's your dad, but he's also your boss. And he can be a good boss.
He is. He's a great boss. He's very
strong boss.
Strong boss, very demanding, expects perfection, not only from our players, but expects perfection from our staff. And people ask me all the time, what have you learned from him, working for him the last 8 years? I'm a better coach today than I was at 29 when I got the head job at Ole Miss. And why is that? From experience, yes, but also from working for him and understanding what daily consistency is. That's a big, big thing, is being consistent with every one of your daily habits and what you're doing, and performing at an extremely high level with an expectation to perform at that level every single day. And if you train your mind to do that, then it becomes something that just becomes natural. He's taught us that as a staff. He teaches our young ladies that as basketball players. And it becomes a natural habit that we have inside of our program. And that's why you see the sustained success year in and year out. Do we have the 30 wins this year that we usually having? No, but we made a decision to play with young players. And we knew with that there were going to be some growing pains and there were going to be some inconsistencies. And we've made it through that, and I'm excited about where we're going with that in the future with this young group.
Middle Tennessee Women's Associate Head Coach Matt Insell with us one-on-one with Greg Pogue, presented by JGC Maintenance Division of Jones Glass Company and the Boulevard Bar and Grill. A good buddy Jeff Nebel and Tay. And
what is your favorite thing at the Boulevard, Greg? You always ask our players at the coaches show.
Well, this is one thing.
What is their favorite food to eat? Also, I understood that somebody dressed up as the Nashville Cat in there yesterday.
Well, just the head.
Just the head, but who? Do you ride around with the cat outfit in your car?
I'm the one asking the questions here.
Can I ask you a question? Are you the Nashville Cat?
I am the mascot, yes. I'm the chief bottle washer, yes.
At the games, though, at the Nashville Cats games, are you in the suit?
No, hell no. If I wanted it to be a fast way to lose weight, it would be. That thing's hot.
If you are in the suit, Greg, can we get you to field a punt or a kickoff and see how you run back with the cat?
I put that thing on. I couldn't even see out the face of it. I don't know how they do it.
I got you.
I was taking it to the dry cleaners.
I didn't know if you could field it and then the team runs at you and tackle you. That would be made for YouTube. I bet you'd get 1 million likes.
Well, and I've in a couple thousand stitches. This year, though, the passing of Liz McPhee, of course, Dr. McPhee's wife, the First Lady of Middle Tennessee, what you've gone through with your wife, Autumn, and the cancer fight there, and now Gracie Hamby, a local player on your roster, her father, Butch, who played football here at Middle Tennessee, passing this week, and then she's out there Thursday night playing key minutes for, and the funerals today. It's just – that's the family part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the youth we've had, and a lot has been put on this young team. Last night was the third funeral that we've been to with this team this year in the last 8 months. Because you think about Denise Smith passing away, Steve Smith's wife, that was a major, major part of our program. Steve Smith is still a major part of that, and our university, and then you lose Miss McPhee. That it's not going to be real when we get on the bus on Tuesday to go to the conference tournament, her not be sitting on that third seat. And I said this in a post, this team got cheated by losing her, because how important she was to our program, but how important she was to our young ladies. And she would always have a discussion with them if we went to the conference tournament. She would have all of her rings, her pennants on her necklace, and she'd pull it out and say, I want another one. And I get emotional thinking about that this young group won't have that conversation with her. And then last night, we're at a visitation for one of their teammates' dad that passed away, an incredible person she is. And somebody said to Dad that, boy, it was really nice of y'all to put Gracie Hamby in the other night, knowing that she just lost her dad, and y'all let her play. No, that had nothing to do with her losing her dad. That had 100% to do that she earned that. When she came here, I still remember her dad walking into Dad's office and sitting down and talking to my dad and myself about her walking on. And he said it just would mean a lot for him for his daughter to play at the school he played at. And he wanted her to walk on. Within a semester, she earned a scholarship and has been on scholarship and works hard every single day, has never really got a meaningful minute in this season, and a meaningful minute throughout her time, except one other time, and that was in the conference tournament 2 years ago when we were undefeated. And we had some kids getting foul trouble against La Tech in the semis, and she had to come in and play in the second quarter, a huge 2.5, 3 minute stretch, and she played. And last night at that visitation, there was a picture of her dad cheering for her during that game.
Wow.
And so that's the stuff that doesn't get talked about this team. And a lot gets talked about their youth, but the things that they've had to go through. And then, like you said about my wife, it's been a real, real hard year for our family, but our team, our players are real close with my wife, and the ups and downs of her health has weighed heavily on them. And so I got so much respect for this team and what they've done this year, and there's not one person can tell me that this year's been a failure for them. It's been a success, and they're going to finish it off the right way tonight and then or this afternoon, and we're going to go to the conference tournament win 3.
Raiders associate head coach Matt Insell. Matt, you referenced earlier you were 29 years old when you became the head coach at Ole Miss, 5 seasons there. Tom Hodges, a head coach at Morehead State, left, now is back on Coach Rick's staff as well. 29 years old and at a Power 4. And where you are now, how much do you take of that? And everybody you've been around, Buzz Peterson, Pat Summitt when you're at Tennessee, Matthew Mitchell at Kentucky, it just seems like one big gumbo of Matt Insell.
It has. I've been very fortunate in my life to work for some great people, to be around some great people, to have some great friends in this business. This morning at 6 o'clock, I'm up getting ready to come in for a shoot-around, and Mike Neighbors, which is on SEC's right now. That's called down there calling the conference tournament, the SEC women's tournament. He's in the studio doing all that stuff. We'll be in the studio for NCAA tournament. Calls me at 6 this morning to talk to me about our game today.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him on TV last night talking about Texas and whoever they're playing, Alabama. And so, I'm very fortunate to have a lot of great friends in this business. But the most important fortunate thing I have had in my life is to have a father that cared about me, that pushed me to be better, that made me go out and get this experience that I got. It would have been very easy for him to keep me here with him and do the things here with him the whole time, but he pushed me to go out and get and broaden my wings a little bit and get some better experience and then welcome me back home after a low point in my life, after Ole Miss, and got back here and it really grew me as a coach, and I hope I've been able to help him bring in some really good players here to towards the end of his career, whenever that shall be, allowing him to go out the way he's gone out. And the last 5 years has been 5 of the winningest years in program's history, and that capped off with that big win over Louisville in the NCAA tournament and leading LSU, the defending national champions, for 34 minutes. You think about this. Kim Mulkey calls a timeout, and we're up 9 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. If we can just figure out a way to weather that storm in front of a hostile crowd, we were in the Sweet 16 that year. But that's something that we're still striving for every day, and this program deserves to have a Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four banner up in this building, and at some point there's going to be one.
You want to help me do these commercials, okay? Jones Glass Company, a commercial construction glazing company and family-owned and operated local small business for 50 years plus, announces the new residential and service company called JGC Maintenance Division, serving Rutherford, surrounding counties. JGC Maintenance offers mirrors, tabletop storm window repair, shower enclosures, commercial maintenance, service work, much more. JGC Maintenance, 615-624-0377, 615-624-0377. Of course, Greg Jones, what a friend he is to your program, to you guys personally as well.
Yeah, one of my best friends in the world, someone I talk to every day. Him and Alicia Jones are 2 of the greatest people. And you said family-owned. That's what it's about. And personal service, family business. One of the top glass, they're a family business, family owned, but it's one of the top glass companies in the Southeast. And so Greg Jones he's not a friend, he's one of my best friends, and love him and his family to death.
All right, and this one, from humble beginnings to becoming Murfreesboro's favorite hangout spot, the Boulevard Bar and Grill has earned its perfect 5-star rating through exceptional service, unforgettable experiences, each dish crafted with the freshest ingredients, mouth-watering flavors, all of that, the big games. They got a TV behind the bar you can see from space.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know how.
Again, locally owned business here in Murfreesboro.
Well, Jeff Nebel,
great people. They do a great job, great service, great food. The spring's about to happen.
Patio seating.
Got a great patio out there with turf on it that you can set out right there outside in the shade and enjoy a nice Sprite or a Coke, Greg, which I think you drank a lot of Coca-Colas. And you can have a great Coca-Cola there with some I don't know, crab cakes. Did they have crab cakes?
No. But I tell you what, you asked me what my favorite was. It is the dry Cajun rub chicken wings.
I didn't know they had crab cakes because when we go on the road, you give me an update of what town we're in and what the best food is in that town.
I'm fishing.
Yeah, so crab cakes was when we was in Delaware. I'm in the airport, and Greg, you're texting me about crab cakes.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to figure out how to beat Delaware, and you're worried about crab cakes.
Well,
did you get a crab cake?
Well, I did.
Because
I was sick and couldn't get on the bus.
No, the story is that the crab cakes, we were having to go to practice at 6 o'clock, and you were thinking about the crab cakes, and so you come down with some mystery illness that you needed to stay at the hotel.
Let's get back to the Boulevard Bar and Grill.
You needed to stay at the hotel, and you got your crab cakes.
Yeah, and
Were they good?
Yeah, but I don't know if I kept them all down or in me. Hey, Matt, thanks for stopping by.
Maybe a seasonal item on the menu, we can get crab cakes at the Boulevard.
Talk to Jeff. All right. All right. Hey, thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Greg. Greg, we appreciate everything you do for us. You've been a great radio broadcaster for this year, and we can't wait to have you in the future with us.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Matt Insell, associate head coach for the Middle Tennessee women's team. Hey, when we come back, we're going to pig it up, pigskin big time. Derek Mason is going to join us, the Blue Raiders football coach. This is 101 with Greg Pogue, presented by Freeman Webb. We'll take a break. This is 94.9 The Fan. Greg Pogue, presented by Freeman Webb. We're at the Murphy Center today. Once again, I want to thank Chase McCabe for filling in for me all these Saturdays. It's actually one-on-one with Chase McCabe, and I'm just hosting my own show here today. Jones Glass Company and JGC Maintenance Division and the Boulevard Bar and Grill, where the coaches' shows are. Speaking of coaches, Coach Derek Mason, Blue Raiders football coach. Coach, how you doing, man? Hold on, let me turn your mic up.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Greg, doing well. Today, man, we've got great basketball going. Man, we're over in the SAPC. Man, we've got some of the top recruits in the state here on campus. So it's just a day of sports, fun, and activities.
Yeah. We were talking off air, the landscape of college football.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to end up. Transfer portal, the NIL world, people playing 8 years, I mean, and so you're going to have to soon get daycare for your players, but it's a crazy world, man. I bet at Camelback High School in northern near Arizona, they didn't teach you any of this.
They didn't, right? They didn't. It was all a lot simpler back then. But what I can tell you is the landscape's been changing since COVID, right? College athletics hasn't stayed the same. I think when we look at where we are today, you're training and developing your team, okay, and you're recruiting your team. That's what's happening. The landscape has provided us opportunity for growth and change, especially here at MTSU, as we've seen, conference realignment, and we've seen a lot of changes throughout sports. I think what we're starting to see is this push for programs and conferences to really bolster what they have in terms of their coaches, their product, and really their name brand. And I think that's where we are now with the landscape of college athletics. It's about brand management. I mean, what you're going to see here in the near future, whether people believe it or not, you're going to see corporate ownership of college teams, which is going to be almost ridiculous. That we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, equity, people,
yes,
businesses and people buying equity into college football.
It's coming. It's right around the corner,
wow.
And this is been somewhat expected, because when you look at what's sustainable, right? You're looking at facilities, and you're looking at this idea of turning your roster over. Facilities is something that's going to have to be a mainstay for universities. So it only makes sense in some of these venues and the way college athletics looks. Like, if we want to be able to be sustainable, then we have to look at a different model. And the model has changed faster in the last 10 years than it's ever changed. And the next 10 years, it's going to move even faster. But that's okay. I think presidents and athletic directors are poised to tackle this new landscape. And I think it still evolves around education as well.
Blue Raiders football coach Derek Mason with us this morning. You mentioned facilities. You got a shiny new building over here, the Denise and Smith, Steve Smith's Performance Center you referenced earlier.
Yes.
And also the next phase that continue. You sort of got to keep up with the Joneses, don't you?
You know what? We're keeping up with the Johnsons and the Joneses. Right? I think what you see, in this new SAPC is it was truly built for performance. This is about development, performance, and the opportunity for our student athletes to really start to raise their profile as we look to sort of push these guys, the men and women, with MTSU athletics to their limits. And the SAPC does that. It does it with a weight room that's as good as anybody in the conference. When you look at the nutrition, part of what we do over in the SAPC from the third floor to the first floor, it's incredible. And then you look at that athletic training room. We from red light therapy to cryo to everything that our student athletes need, it's built for performance. So with that, we're now building these rosters. We're putting these teams together so we can do just that, compete for a conference USA title.
Some coaching turnover. That's just that's the business. Offensive coordinator Anthony Selfo comes in. Offensive line coach Christopher Brown. Yep. Tight ends Ross Jenkins, Al Pori. Running backs Michael Riggs. Your football ops guy comes over from Auburn. I met him at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. I'm not kidding you. And then Cameron O'Neill, your recruiting coordinator and everything. So how you feel about your staff?
You know what? This feels right. All the way around, it feels right. I'm in year 3, and wherever I've been in year 3, things really start to heat up and happen. And I think now we know who we are. Anthony Selfo comes from Southeast Louisiana, where that group put up some numbers. And it wasn't just numbers, it's how they play. They played a physical style of ball. That's the type of ball that we want to play. That's what this conference is with teams like Jack State and Kennesaw, as well as Liberty, man. You've seen this conference become more physical in terms of what it looks like. But Anthony with Chris Brown, our offensive line coach, who comes from University of Arkansas, he's a Sam Pittman guy, but he comes that way through Kirk Ferenz at Iowa. And I think when you have those two tags on you, that makes for something special. And as I look at this offensive line and what it's been built to do and what we're doing with it, I think Roman Gagliano, our quarterback, is going to be pretty excited about what this group has in store for it.
Well, when you say Sam Pittman and then Kirk Ferentz, I think brawlers.
That's right.
That's what I think. Just
that's right. Somebody
you don't want to mess with.
Well, if you just come watch them work, the work looks different. The work looks different. I mean, it's nasty. It's physical. And we're not even in pads. It's just this demonstrative attitude about owning the line of scrimmage and the physicality that it takes, like to move a man. Football's a man move a man game, and it all starts up front. The ability to run and throw, the ability to finish quarters, into halves, into games. That's how we're trying to build this football team. We got plenty of skill, but it obviously starts up front.
101 with Greg Pogue, presented by Freeman Webb. We're at the Murphy Center of the Boulevard Bar and Grill, where your coach's show is on Monday nights in season, and JGC Maintenance of Jones Glass Company as well. How much was important to finish with those 2 wins, the overtime win in Mexico State, Sam Houston as well, to go into that offseason with some momentum?
Well, it meant everything to this football team because we were at a point where, things have been close. There have been some tight ball games. There have been some great showings. When Nick got hurt and Roman had to step up, we saw what Roman was capable of doing versus Western Kentucky. And then what he did in the following performances was come out and show that he could lead this team. And you saw us run the ball. You saw us have balance. You saw us be, fairly explosive, being able to push the ball down the field. And now what we're doing is just riding some of that momentum. We used it in recruiting. When you have a young quarterback, and I know it's hard to keep young, good quarterbacks nowadays with the portal, but Roman has bought into what we are and what we're building. He loves this place. He wants to put this place on the map, and he gets a chance to with a group of guys around him that are his guys. He's got a different energy about him. The way he walks into the building, the way he trains, the way he sort of leads this group. These guys love playing with him, and I think that's uber important. You can't just be a good player nowadays. You got to be somebody that guys want to follow.
Well, by position, that needs to come, right?
It's got to come. It comes with that position, like in particular. But it's like anything else, right? You want a great leader. Roman leads by example. But here's the thing: the defensive guys love playing with him, and I think that's a different type of mojo. Generally, you love to compete against a guy, and they love competing against him. But if you ask any of those guys coming back, like the Reggie Johnsons, the Felix Hicksons of the world, these guys will all tell you that dude's a different dude. He makes us better. He's a force multiplier, and when you have a force multiplier, it sort of amps everything up. A walkthrough even starts to become a little aggressive.
Derek Mason with us here this morning, Blue Raiders football coach. Your non-conference, always look at that. The conference is going to be, every year either or with home and aways. But right. Murray State, Nevada here, at Marshall, at Kansas.
Yes. All
tough tasks, but seemingly very doable.
Yeah.
I don't know as a coach you don't want to say those are doable, but you know what I'm saying.
I like our schedule.
Yeah.
I do. I like our schedule. It is different. And I'll tell you how it's different for us, right? You look at the schedule and the way the schedule sets, home, away, and then obviously we stay away for a little bit, but then we come home for 2 home games. It's time for this team. It's truly time for this team. It's been a crawl, walk mentality over the last 2 years. Now it's time for this team to run and to open up with Murray at home. To get some good early road tests in Marshall. Marshall's a good football team, right? They've always have been. So I like going to Marshall on the road. I like being able to go to Kansas. And that team will now be looking at a new quarterback situation as well. So I think our schedule early is competitive. It is doable. But the big thing is we just want to make sure, man, that we can start this thing off right. It all starts with Murray State. And a year ago, man, we had a quick hiccup, getting into the season, and I think it took us a minute to catch rhythm. For us, I think it's a different type of season. We got to make it that way. I told our team yesterday, we win when you make it so. So it starts one game at a time. Right now, we're in OTAs. The OTA mentality is, you start with training, then you get to installs, and a month from now we'll be in spring ball. We'll actually start April 7th.
Yeah, I was going to say, when's spring starting? Well, that's a little bit later, isn't it? Yeah.
I wanted a longer training cycle. Nowadays, with the portal, having your guys here, I needed our strength coach, Jamie Blatnick, to have more training time. It gave us more time to execute football 101. I go back to Coach Wooden. Coach Wooden wanted to teach his team how to tie their shoes, how to actually dribble a basketball. What were the rules of engagement for the program? And it was culture building, and that's what we're doing. We're spending more time with us, learning us. What do we want to be? What are we working to become? And then we get a chance to actually push and roll the ball out April 7th, and we'll go from April 7th to the 28th.
Coffee with the Coach, third Wednesday, 8 a.m. over at the Smith Performance Center, huh? Coffee with the Coach.
Yeah, that's you know what, Greg, that was a fun opportunity to have barbershop talk and early cup of coffee talk with stakeholders, just people, men who love football, right? And I'm going to give as much information as I have. I'm going to tell you everything that we're doing. So Blue Raiders are always welcome, but it's just a chance to sit down and our first one, Roman Gagliano, as well as Chris Brown, they were in the building, and I had a chance to put on my radio hat and do a little interview.
Well, look at you. What was that year like with the SEC Network?
Yeah.
Did he give you us guys over here aren't so bad, right?
It gave me a healthy respect for what you do. Let me tell you something. For those who don't know, what goes on behind the scenes with flip charts and homework.
Well, look, there's my for today.
I see it.
Yeah, that's mine
I see
right
the flip
there.
Chart. Look, that is it is such a skill. I'm telling you, the homework done on opponents. Whether you know your team because you watch your team,
right?
But when you look at opponents, and in basketball, it's a little different because you get a chance to see some of these teams twice, right? But the reality of it is, I mean, there's net percentages, there's free throw percentage, there's rebounding, defense.
Well, right here, 90% of what's there,
yes.
I won't use.
Yes,
but it's there in case I need it.
But the prep that goes in,
yeah.
people don't understand the prep that goes into it. I mean, it's not just, hey man, I'm just going to go into it. I'm going to spitball it. I mean, it's 6 to 7 hours. It's a full-time job. And for me to actually have a year to go do it, in the end, I really appreciated it. Was offered a contract to come back and do it. I chose football.
Yeah, there you go. You're a coach. You're a coach.
I left what needs to be done to the professionals, right? And I started to walk back in my lane a little bit. But let me tell you something. I honestly said to myself, Dave Neal, okay, who was my partner in crime. It was the funnest. Dave made it fun.
Oh, he's a pro.
He made it fun, and he was a pro's pro.
Yeah.
Off air, Dave would sit down and be like, okay, look, great job, but let's dig into this this part that we need to fix. And I really appreciated it because, like, for me, I wanted to be good at it, right? And he gave me an opportunity to be good at it. And I just thank Dave Neal. I thank Dave for, everything that he did. We still talk. His son is here right now in grad school.
Really?
So, yeah. So we talk probably, every couple of months, just checking in on each other.
Coach, thanks for stopping by, man.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate it.
My guy.
All right. Coach Derek Mason with us. We are at the Murphy Center. It is 101 with Greg Pogue, presented locally here by the Boulevard Bar and Grill. And let me tell you about the Boulevard Bar and Grill. I know I met your new ops guy over there the other day, but from humble beginnings, Murfreesboro's favorite hangout spot, the Boulevard Bar and Grill has earned a perfect 5-star rating through exceptional service, unforgettable experiences, every dish crafted with the freshest. You can jump on in here if you want to, because I saw a couple of your football players in there the other day.
I'm always at the Boulevard, so you're always going to see me in there grabbing a pizza.
And that TV you can see from space.
From space, I tell you what, if they're in outer space, I bet you if they pan towards Murfreesboro, they can
watch the game.
They can watch the game for sure.
All right. Hey, BoulevardMurfreesboro.com and that patio seating on a day like today, and also Jones Glass Company, commercial construction glazing company and family-owned and operated local small business for 50 years plus. A new residential and service company, JGC Maintenance Division, Rutherford and surrounding counties. Mirrors, tabletop, storm window repair, shower enclosures, commercial maintenance, all of that stuff. Service work, much more. JGC Maintenance, 615-624-0377. Derek, thanks for stopping by, man.
My guy.
All right. Hey, we'll take a break. More from the Murphy Center right here on 94.9 The Fan. Thanks locally by JGC Maintenance Division and the Boulevard Bar and Grill. Diane Turnham, Deputy Athletics Director, Senior Women's Administrator, SWA, 45 years, Blue Raider Hall of Fame in 2012. So you started here when you were 3? Let me
Six.
You started
Maybe
here when you were 6? Oh, okay. I didn't think you were 50. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you,
I was
sir?
just thinking how long I've known you. A long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Since I've only been here 45 years.
Yeah. This time we got a lot to go, but I want to get to one specific thing.
Sure.
For 5 years, you were on the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Committee, the chair for several years as well. What was that experience like, number one, and what would you be going through right now leading into the tournaments?
You know, Greg, it was a great experience. I kind of built my way up. I complained one year because our volleyball team didn't get in a tournament, and an old commissioner named Wright Waters, who I love dearly, said, you need to be on the NCAA committee. So he promptly worked to get me on women's soccer. I was on that committee 4 years. Then I got on women's volleyball. And kind of the crescendo was women's basketball, and it was a great time. But my goodness, it's a lot of work. Because right now, with all these tournaments going on, you are watching games like crazy to see how people finish up. Did they finish strong? If they're a bubble team and they don't finish strong, that might affect the final decision, because we look at so many different things. But during the year, I probably watched well over 200, maybe 300 games.
The responsibilities are divided. You had particular conferences.
I had 3
because you can't watch them all.
No, I had 3 conferences that I was the primary. I had 3 that I was the secondary. Lucky me, I had the SEC every year, so I watched a lot of SEC basketball.
Well, you do that anyway.
I do that anyway. I still do it, even though I'm not on the committee. But it's a huge honor, but it's a lot of work because you want to get it right, because these teams work so hard all year long.
And you're a basketball family. Your husband, Kyle, coaching at
Warren County.
Warren County.
Yes.
I was going to say McMinnville High School.
Well,
okay,
in McMinnville.
Yeah, Warren County High School. Of course, he does. I haven't got to do a radio game with him because he's always sitting right over there doing TV when I'm here. But I'm going to get to do. But do y'all talk basketball at home?
You know, we do. We decided a long time ago we could never be one of those husband and wives teams because we have a lot of different ideas. And I can tell you he absolutely loves doing radio and TV. But typical Friday night, I called, said what you want, and he ordered his typical Pizza Hut pizza. And I said, I'm tired of pizza. I'm stopping by Demas's. So we sat at home, sat there, and watched games all night because big SEC night for the women, and so we just enjoyed ourselves and talked a little basketball.
To say the landscape is changing is like saying Marilyn Monroe was cute.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't do it justice.
You know, Greg, it has changed so much in my 45 years here. I loved every minute, but wow, this is a different day and age. The NIL, the transfer portal has put a whole new twist on everything, and every coach is re-recruiting his team every day, and he's also trying to look at others that may not be happy somewhere else that he can bring in. I hate it in a way. I'm glad the student athletes have an opportunity to make money, but I'm sad because I see loyalty for your alma mater going out of style because they may have 3 or 4 by the time they graduate.
Yeah, and they got, there's some that'll go through senior day like 2 or 3 times.
Exactly. Yes, how many do you have?
Yeah, and then one thing, we had Matt Insell on obviously here to start the show, and they are doing it with this group. They bring in Elena Contreras, the only transfer, of course, and they're doing it the traditional old school way, aren't they? Growing a base and teaching them, and by the time this group's juniors, seniors.
Well, my goodness. Look at Rick Insell. When I first started here, I spent a lot of quality time with him at Shelbyville. Didn't do me a whole lot of good because most of his players went to Power 5 schools. But, hey, I was still going to recruit them all. So he's known a long, long time how great Tennessee basketball for girls has been. Matt grew up in a gym. He knows how great Tennessee surrounding area basketball is for girls basketball. So I love the way they're recruiting. You do have to have a few, ACs come in and done a great job, but our young ladies, I'm so proud of them and how much they've grown up in this short season. It seems like we just started yesterday, and all of a sudden here we are, last home game, getting ready to go to the tournament. So they don't get to be babies anymore. They're ready for a whole new season starting in Huntsville.
They're playing their 30th game of the season here today. And one thing, and I didn't mention with Matt, I should have, the next level luncheon here at noon today.
Yeah.
And Rick is no better in anything than growing a consensus within the community.
You know, I tell people this all the time, and they laugh at me, but it is so true. He has convinced about 2,500 people in this town we cannot play unless they're sitting in the stands. And we'll have a huge luncheon.
Well, you're always top 20, 25, you are now top 25 in the country in attendance.
Yes, we love it. We love ourselves some Lady Raider basketball. The girls' state championships will be here next week. It just has such a rich tradition of high school and college basketball, and that's been one of my great loves, is to see young women come in as mere children and walk out as incredible young ladies with a great career ahead of them because of their determination to discipline themselves in the sport of women's basketball.
Just like you, 45 years ago, you started here as a mere child.
I did. I came and worked.
45 years now, and you look great, by the way. I'm not flirting with you, but
you.
you look great.
Well, to be that old, yes, maybe. I came back here and worked for my old high school coach, Larry Joe Inman. I started
Love Larry Joe.
Yeah, love him to death. He taught me all I know. I worked 2 years as a GA at Austin P. We played middle, and he goes, when I get a full-time job, you're coming to middle. And I thought, no, I'm not. I'm going to teach elementary school. And so here I am 45 years later.
Diane,
loved every minute.
Thanks for stopping by.
I love it. Anytime.
Right.
Thank you.
Diane Turnham, she is the Deputy Athletics Director and SWA, Senior Women's Administrator here at Middle Tennessee. I didn't even mention a 1980 graduate of Lipscomb University. How about that as well? Hey, thanks for this, everybody here. Jeff Nebel over at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. Check out the website, boulevardmurfreesboro.com. They actually have gluten-free buns for those who have celiac disease, and as well. And you got your coaches shows over there all the time.
Yes, we love it. You cannot head Jeff off. He's going to have whatever you need, and he might name something after you if you eat it.
Oh, that's right. You look at half the menus got named for people around here, right? Yeah, and also Jones Glass Company, Greg Jones and his new division, JGC Maintenance Division, as well. Want to thank them for sponsoring our visit here today. Yeah, it's good to see you, Diane. All right. Hey, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. And I guess, I don't know if hopefully I'm not here next Saturday, because if I'm doing this show next Saturday, then we're not in this title game. So, I hope, Yep, okay. All right. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you. Jake, you can take it on out. Appreciate it. This is 94.9 The Fan.